Hello and welcome to the Grunwald Gallery of Art. I'm Claire Hamill, theater practitioner. I'll be your guide as you experience Evelyn Walker's 2-year retrospective. Come along as we explore attempted animism, post-puppet ontology, and instances of uncontrolling the non-self. Before you is a collection of objects. Here there's more than meets the eye. Everything on display is charged with the residue of untold stories. Each object had a life. They've been involved in circumstances which took place in the real world, circumstances which range in dynamism from sweeping a floor to death itself. And in many cases, the objects were responsible for these events. We're about to begin at display number 1. You'll know to move on to the next display when you hear this sound. All right, here we go. Here is a broom being improved by the addition of a female figure. Very flattering. Any object can be improved with the addition of the human form. Science has proven that the human mind responds to the human figure with empathy and attraction. Applying the human figure to everyday items not only enriches our experience of the world, but also makes it easier to understand. Here is a doll made to be just like the famous lamb chop of the Sherry Lewis show. And here is a head that went by the name of Fly. Behind it there is a suit which gave it the ability to fly. Its flying days are now over, as it's joined our collection here at the Grunwald Gallery, along with all the other objects. Let's listen in to artist Evelyn Walker as she tells us just a little bit about the puppet preservation process.
Preserving a puppet is it's quite different than the preservation process required for animals, for example. In the case of preserving an animal, one knows exactly when the preservation process can begin. The animal will appear dead, and the animal will be dead. However, in the case of a puppet, it's difficult to tell if this is the case. And so rather than being focused on physical preservation, although those details factor in the case of preserving a puppet, we're concerned, in fact, with the verification of the life or absence of life in the puppet. And what we do is we go back and we collect a comprehensive record of what the puppet has been involved in. Shows, personality, various characters the puppet may have played, and we collect these details, and what we do with them essentially is put them in a file in a dark drawer somewhere, and then we lock that drawer. The goal is to preclude the possibility of future activity. This is the primary quality of life or death, is the possibility or impossibility of future activity. And so our entire goal essentially is to make sure that that isn't possible.
Some puppets require additional measures during the preservation process. This fellow contains some functional organs. This is a highly unique condition for a puppet, and the preservation process required special care. In front of the puppet, you can see a perfectly preserved bladder, found intact inside the puppet after its death. As a puppet ages, it collects association with a series of events. This is a quality humans and puppets share. If enough of these moments collect, the puppet can be said to have a life. But is personality and life history integrated into the material presence? Or can we eliminate that essence by simply swapping one head for another? Here are the artifacts from an experiment on this very subject. Object number 1, a puppet by the name of Monkey, and the chair in which she sat during her time as the subject of these experiments is in front of you. Monkey was a perfect subject, having accrued an extensive list of life experiences and involvement with events. Having lived thus, she came to be well known by others, who would ask after her well-being and even refer to her by her name. As you can see, Monkey is responding well to treatment, and she even seems to enjoy it. In May of 2013, a puppet by the name of Fabro was found to be dead of unknown causes. A wake was held, and the community was invited to pay their final respects at a funeral service on the grounds of the puppet's home. 4 months later, the case of Fabro's death was reopened due to anonymous letters which appeared to several individuals claiming suspicions of foul play. Concerned volunteers collected evidence and searched for the coffin, but none was found. The coffin remains missing and the case remains open. Any individuals with information are encouraged to come forward immediately. When a puppet dies, how do you feel? Are you sad because what dies is gone? Neutral because objects never live, death is impossible? Or joyful? To die is to have lived. We hope you've enjoyed your audio tour of From Attempted Animism to Post-Puppet Ontology, Instances of Uncontrolling the Non-Self. I've been your guide, Claire Hamwar.